Cleve was a giant of a man who dominated professional arm wrestling and was a two-time competitor at the World's Strongest Man. But how strong was he? Luther Cleve was born on the 15th of December 1953 in Pavo, Georgia, where he grew up on the family farm alongside two siblings. There, at the age of 9, Cleve was already stated to have been the size of an adult and would help to pick cotton, tobacco and rear pigs. As a teenager, he would carry bags of feed weighing 100 pounds to the pig pens. These years of manual labour helped him to develop tremendous size and strength. At 21 years old, Cleve stood 6 foot 7 inches tall and weighed 325 pounds. The LA Times reported that around this time, Cleve visited the Miami Dolphins training camp, where he stirred up some interest after running the 40-yard dash in 5.3 seconds. The publisher also claimed that he would sometimes lift the rear end of a 7-ton John Deere tractor. A couple of years later, while working on the farm, Cleve suffered a severe back injury that he would never fully recover from.
I injured my back when I was 22 years old. I literally crushed 2 vertebrae in it. It fused my 5th lumbar, is totally fused like a doctor did it.
The injury caused him reduced mobility that led to a rapid gain in body weight to over 400 pounds. Cleve would first start arm wrestling in local competitions in the mid-1970s after seeing the sport on TV. He entered his first arm wrestling tournament in December 1977, where aside from losing in the final, he won every match. Cleve would return to the World Wrist Wrestling Championship in October 1978, where he overcame every opponent to win the first of many heavyweight titles. The following month, Cleve was set to take on the 6'5", 245-pound Virgil Arcerio in a big money event to decide who was the world's best arm wrestler. At this time, Arcerio hadn't lost a match in nearly 3 years and had won titles under the 3 biggest arm wrestling organisations. With huge bets placed on both men, someone asked one of Cleve's backers if they'd ever seen him arm wrestle. The backer responded, "No, but back in Pavo there ain't no Cadillac in town that old Cleve can't pick up the front end on." Virgil took the claim with a pinch of salt, not believing that anyone could be that strong. Shortly before the super match, the opponents met for the first time to do some promotional work, as is recalled here by Virgil.
We did some preliminary TV promo before the match and got a feel of his hand size, and that was kind of overwhelming.
Virgil's experience was common to everyone who'd gripped up with Cleve, whose hands and arms were some of the biggest ever seen in the sport. His hands reportedly measuring 9¼ inches long by 6 inches across, combined with his 19-inch forearms and 10-inch wrists, made Cleve a formidable opponent. The athletes would face off on the evening of the 15th of November at the Silver Slipper Hotel, where Cleve overpowered Virgil 2-0 to become the undisputed king of the table. Following Cleve's meteoric rise in arm wrestling, he was invited to compete at the 1979 World's Strongest Man competition, where he arrived weighing in at 211 kilograms or 465 pounds. Here the scoring system used only awarded points to the top 5 finishers and were weighted in such a way that gave a disproportionate advantage to the winner of each event. This year's competition started with the barrel lift, an event in which Cleve failed to even clean the opening weight of 91 kilograms or 200 pounds to his chest and thus scored 0 points. It was during an interview after the first event that Dean clarified rumours that he'd picked up a 600-pound hog.
Now your lady told me that one time a 600-pound sow and that you reached over and grabbed her by the ears and pulled it up. Did you do that really? Is that a true story?
I've caught hogs that weigh 600 pounds in a dead run.
And you stopped them?
Didn't exactly stop them dead still. We tumbled a little while, but we stopped.
Up next was the bar bend, an event that didn't require much technique, thus allowing Cleve to utilise his brute strength to take a second place finish and move up the leaderboard to 5th place overall. The third event was the caber toss, where Cleve was unable to flip the caber and thus failed to record a distance, resulting in 0 points scored, but still maintained his position on the leaderboard. The car deadlift was the fourth event, where Dean finished in joint fourth place along with 5 other competitors, to take a share of the points and hold on to 5th place on the leaderboard. Cleve's lack of athleticism and experience really showed in the wheelbarrow race, where his time of 20.2 seconds was the slowest of any competitor and saw him slip to 6th place overall. The 6th event was the squat. Here Dean failed to score any points, meaning that he finished the event during one of the first 3 weight jumps shown on screen. He did, however, manage to hold on to 6th place on the leaderboard. Cleve's performances improved over the next 3 events, finishing in joint 2nd place along with 5 other competitors in the vertical lift. His considerable body weight helped him to take a 4th place finish in the trample, and finally he took 3rd place in the fridge carry. While these results were better, it wasn't enough to see him through to the deciding event. Cleve finished his inaugural competition as officially the 6th strongest man in the world. During the same year, Dean entered and won the National and World Wrist Wrestling Championship for a second time without losing a single match. Cleve's continued dominance in the world of arm wrestling, combined with his performance during his Strongman debut, earned him an invitation to the 1980 World's Strongest Man. Here, for the first time since its inception, the competition featured a slightly more international lineup of competitors and a proportionate scoring system that's still used today. The competition opened with the max log lift, where, although not televised, the weight jumps used and Dean's last place finish showed that he pressed 156 pounds before failing to get 222. Things didn't improve much for the second event, where Dean finished in 9th place, leaving him trailing the competition in 10th overall. The third event was the truck pull, an event where Dean's huge size gave him a big advantage. And so that proved to be the case, as despite his poor technique he took the win and 10 points, to jump up the leaderboard to 7th overall. The wheelbarrow carry was the 4th event, where despite Dean's previous experience he failed to complete the course, only managing to finish in 9th by virtue of the fact that Jerry Hannum was protecting a leg injury. Dean put in solid performances in the refrigerator race, beating his previous year's time by 3 seconds to take 6th place, and the bar bend where he finished in 4th place. These 2 reasonable results saw Dean move up the leaderboard to 6th overall. Unfortunately, his hard work was immediately undone in the squat lift, where he failed at the opening weight, followed by the silver dollar deadlift, where he was unable to pull the 606 pound weight, to finish both events in 9th place, only due to the fact that Don Reinhold had withdrawn from the competition. Dean was now sat in 8th place overall, with only the battery hold to go, after which the top 4 athletes would compete in the tug of war. Although it was mathematically impossible for him to reach the final event, a good performance here could have seen him leap several places on the leaderboard. However, the reality was very different, with Dean recording another last place finish to end the competition as the 9th strongest man in the world. On paper, Dean's static lifts, consisting of a failure to press a 222 pound log, squat 463 pounds, or achieve a 606 pound silver dollar deadlift, are far from impressive. However, Dean did reasonably well in the bar bend and some other less technical events that showed that had he participated in formal strength training, along with the requisite performance-enhancing drugs, and not been suffering from a back injury, he may have well been a contender for a podium finish. Following his final appearance at the World's Strongest Man, Dean continued to dominate the world of arm wrestling, barely losing a match from his first win in 1978 through to 1986, although as his back injury worsened, he gained more body weight. Dean arrived at the final of the Over the Top Championship on the 26th of July 1986, where event promoter and multiple-time world champion Laurie Cole recalled that Cleve weighed in at over 590 pounds. It was here that Cleve was rumoured to be Stallone's final opponent in the 1987 movie on which the tournament was based, until producers believed that Sly beating someone over 3 times his size would be too unrealistic. Dean instead had a cameo appearance in the final movie. After Dean's disappointment at losing to Scott Norton in the final of the Over the Top Championship, along with his back injury and feeling disenchanted with the politics of the sport, he took a 6-year-long hiatus. During that time, he exercised and lost a considerable amount of body weight, to eventually return to competition in 1993. He continued to compete sporadically for the next 15 years, notably collecting further world titles in 1994, 2001 and 2005. However, he was never the same almost unbeatable force that he had been during his prime. Struggling with back pain and declining health that had led to his disablement, Dean retired from the sport in 2008. At that time, including left and right-handed titles, he had won over 100 world championships. Cleve Dean sadly passed away just 3 short years later after suffering a heart attack on the 10th of May 2011. That's it for the video, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please take a second to hit like, share the video, leave a comment and subscribe for more. Thank you.